Today is Thursday, and we're talking about OS2 and Linux. We reviewed boot system, we did some command line, and then the last half hour the students worked on the GUI assignment. That would be the one from Lab 3. Okay, so this is week 2, day 4. I reviewed a little bit. We talked about processor, registers, storage areas in the process. We talked about memory and storage. You boot from firmware. Some software initiates action within the computer. Boot. We reviewed the older system, the BIOS. UEFI. We reviewed that. And to command line interfaces. We talked about changing directories, and so change directory, go to the top of the hierarchy of the RIT. That's 2 dots, next directory up. This goes to your home directory. This tells you the present working directory. We did a little bit of work with VI editor, but we didn't do too much with that. We used the less command to view a text file. Okay. Talked about path directories. We talked about path relative that path. It's to a directory that's in underneath the path where you currently are at. Absolute always would go back to the top slash, and then you would give the path of the directories of where you're going. We were in our own directory, and we typed cd public HTML. Since there's no slash in front of there, that's a relative path. You're going to a directory that's underneath the directory you're currently in. We talked a little bit about the bash shell that allows us to type commands in order to make Linux do what we want it to do. Servers. We talked about developing users. I showed a script. We added a couple users in order to use during our demo. Here's an example of that's an absolute address to the home directory, and then all the individual people on the system have, all the users have directories under the home directory. Show you some commands on your present working directory, long listing, change directories, back up a directory, 2 dots, back up a directory. The grep takes your long listing, this is a pipe, pipes it through the grep command and looks for class. So then you see where the incidence of class appears in those long listing. Listed according to time. I changed to a student's directory. We looked at what's stored in the message. Here we did a copy. We copied the message to the directory under us and gave it a new name. We changed the directory and looked to see if what we did really occurred. Here I copied this message to this message, which ended up making a copy with a new name, and I didn't give any directories, so it ended up in the same. We have a shared directory on the home directory. We are on work server number 2. Oh, and I did do this. I copied a file here that's in my current directory. I did a secure copy. I preserved the metadata, the time, date, and so forth, and then I copied it to this directory on this server, so it actually copied from one machine to another. You notice it's really important. See the colon there? It won't work without the colon. And that is it for today. The students worked on the GUI interfaces on the machines in the classroom, but you can also do this Lab 3 on your virtual machines. At least you can be working on it. And that's it for this week.